Hey traders, John Howell here, and in this video, or this update I'm going to give you, I'm going to be first talking to you about why I see a dollar crash coming, or at least a dollar bear market coming, and I believe the bear market has already started with that there. I'm going to give you a bit of a stock market update and why I still see a little bit more upside before we see some sort of a correction or some sort of a pullback, not a crash, but a pullback. Also going to talk about an update on silver and gold right now. Also an update on the bigger picture, what's happening with the gold stocks, that's long term there. And also why I still see a bit more of a pullback coming now, probably over the next couple of weeks, maybe the next month or two, of why I see a pullback with Tesla there. And that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about. Plus I'm also going to be talking to you about a level. When I talk about the stock market here, I'm going to be talking to you about Dow Jones. Internal polling in his company thinks that the S&P 500 is likely to get to a certain level if Donald Trump wins. Now, Donald Trump is likely to win, so the S&P is likely to get to a place based on what Dow Jones has said with his internal polling. And I'm really excited about that. So also, guys, before I get started, I am running a live webinar today. And I'm going to teach you my #1 trading strategy. If you are struggling with trading right now, you've tried Forex, you tried this, you tried that, you've tried all these different things, you tried subscriptions, you tried trading rooms, you tried stuff, and you're still struggling, you need to be on my webinar today, because I'm going to share with you how I went from $250,000 in debt, trying all that out, to go and get a 7-figure coach to coach me, and one thing that completely turned it all around. I'm going to share that one thing with you. Then I'm going to share with you my 4-step trading system that gets up to a 90% success rate. And then I'm going to show you exactly how I only trade 1 hour per day to have all my trading done, and so much more. You're going to absolutely love it. But if you are struggling with the trading right now, you must be on this here, because this is going to give you the light bulbs. It's going to give you the education. It's going to give you the know-how, the path ahead of what it truly takes to get ahead in the market. And then a very simple but powerful trading strategy for you to start to apply to your trading today. Very first thing in the description, let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video, because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty, traders. So let's get straight into today's session. We're going to talk about why I see a lot more downside of the US dollar. Now, if we go have a look at the US dollar here, let me actually just bring this up here on a blank chart. Look what's happened here, right? We can see how on this US dollar, we've continued to rise. We've had a low, we've had a higher low, a higher low, a higher low, and a higher low through here. Notice how what has actually happened, right? We made a higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high. Look what's happening right now. We went from a lower high to a lower low. So we've actually gone from an uptrend to now we are actually in a downward trend. So yes, I do see probably a little rise through here, but then that's probably likely to be short-lived and then a break back down. This is the weekly chart here. So you can see the weekly chart's really starting, the weekly chart has already started to change trend through there. If I bring up the daily chart and I draw some, say, major significant trend lines and all that sort of stuff through there, then you probably could see that there's probably likely to be something going on. It's not exact, but let's actually just remove that. We're probably likely to see a whole bunch of area of support and resistance around that 20. Now I'm using the UUP here, but this is the fund or the ETF compared to that. But as you can see, right, if we do get a rally up into these levels here, even if we do get a bit more of a rise through here on the US dollar, I believe it's likely to be short-lived, and then we're probably likely to go get people long again, think it's going to go back up again, and then we're probably likely to then roll back over and then continue down to these levels down through here. You can see how we're just in this channel for quite some time. Now we've broken out, come back up, and now since we've broken out, if you do a bit of a projection tool, which is like simply just going from the low to the high point, okay, you extend that out, and then that's where it's likely to run to right there. And as you can see, it almost got to there, and then and now we're having a bit of a rally. So this level through here, or this support level through here, has indeed held it. I believe it will likely to run, and then a pullback down through here. So the US dollar overall, as you can see, right, US dollar was in this massive upward channel. Now we're starting to roll over through here. So that's why I see a lot more, guys, a lot more downside to come when it comes to that. A quick little stock market update is that the Dow Jones is almost at its target. The S&P 500 was my target was that 3250 level there. The Nasdaq there was around that 9,000 level. That got to my target back late last year. I made the target of where I projected target where it's likely to go to. It's completely blasted. Not only did it get to my target, but it's gone above that. But the Dow Jones is almost at its target. Once we get to these 29.5 level, probably even up to around the 30,000, then we're probably likely to see some sort of a pullback. And it's probably likely to be a sharp pullback as well too. So people are going to be freaked out. So I do see a bit more of a rise here, but then we're probably likely to see a bit of a sharp pullback. And then we're probably likely to continue from there. But as I promised you guys, Paul Tudor Jones's internal polling said that around 3,600 is where the stock market is likely to go to if Donald Trump wins. Now 3,600, that's up through there. Now it's probably not likely to continue going up through there. Now this may be one sort of massive blow off top through here. And as you can see, this has just gone up and up and up. So it's getting pretty scary where we are right now. I do see a little bit more upside to come, but we're probably likely to see some sort of a pullback and then maybe a continuation up through there. Now, it doesn't mean we're definitely going to get to the 3,600, but Paul Tudor Jones did an internal polling within his company, and they said if Donald Trump wins, we're likely to get to the S&P will trade at 3,600. Pretty crazy, I know, especially where we are right now, but that's exactly what's happened there. Just remember, guys, okay, just remember that this thing has just been, this thing's been pretty vertical through here. Same with the Nasdaq, right? Look at this Nasdaq, it's just gone absolutely nuts. This is pretty scary now, okay? I did see a breakout, and now we have gone through a very decent run. But look how sharp look how vertical this move is here right now. I do see, guys, all right? I do see a sharp pullback coming, but not yet, not yet. I think once the Dow Jones ultimately gets to its target through there, then we're probably likely to see some sort of sharp pullback out of this market, okay? Because we've definitely done a lot of movement to the upside, same as the S&P 500, right? We've done a lot of move to the upside, and as you can see, right, when we do a lot of move to the upside, it gets to a point where we definitely see a sharp pullback. And if I go, say, to the 2-day chart, you can see that's exactly what actually even happened last year, right? Look at how vertical this move was, and then we had a very sharp pullback. Look how vertical this move is right now. So we're likely to get some sort of sharp pullback right now. So don't be surprised, guys. I do believe we're likely to see a little bit more upside on the Dow Jones as well, towards it get to that, maybe even shoot up to that 30,000. But once it gets to that level there, guys, don't be surprised if we start to see a massive pullback coming along the way. And I believe that's just around the corner over the next few weeks or a month. I believe we're likely to get that sharp pullback. It's not a crash, all right? A crash is with a complete bear market, but a major pullback, a significant sharp pullback, is probably likely to happen, just like through here. Now, what I mean by sharp pullback is, I mean, stuff like this here, right? We get a very sharp pullback, and so on and so forth. Make sense? So that's the S&P. That's that there, and that there. But this thing has just gone up now. Now this is. We had a lot of sideways movement here, and now we're going through a blow off. Now we get into a state where the market's getting exhausted on its level there, the market's getting to an exhausted level because it's been going up for quite some time. It can keep going up, but please, guys, please, if you are long right now these markets and any stocks, especially Apple, then be prepared for a pullback, okay? Be prepared for a major pullback. A major pullback, I believe, is just around the corner. Again, I do see a little bit more upside. Probably get the Dow Jones up to these levels through here, because that's where the target is. But once we get to that level, those levels there, guys, don't be surprised, all right? Don't be surprised if we see a very sharp pullback. And the sharp pullback would just be with the overall trend, right? It'd probably just be a sharp pullback, get everyone freaked out, think the top's in, and then probably continue up from there. All right. So that's what I see through there, guys. A quick little update on silver and gold. Gold right now has had a big move up. We're still going through this sort of just sideways, a little bit of a pullback through here, which is great. But I definitely see a lot more upside coming with gold and silver as well too, right? Silver ran up, made this higher high compared to this high through here, and then a pullback through here, and then a sideways. So I definitely see this, probably the S&P is probably likely to start to see some really nice moves to the upside through there. So it's probably going to go in line with the silver and gold rally, or the next rally out of silver and gold, which I'm getting really, really excited about. If I look at the SLV price, I'm getting very excited about this level through here. If I bring up the daily chart through here, right, I can see that this is what's happening, right? We're getting a nice pullback through here. So if we get a nice little move up, then that's probably going to be a nice move, probably racing to the upside through there. So I'm definitely seeing this move up through here on SLV, and then a pullback. If I get a nice little breakaway bar, especially above these levels through here, then we're probably likely to see a very, very nice move, probably back up towards those highs through there. So on the short-term basis, guys, I definitely see probably silver and gold pretty much a nothing week for next week. And then probably see the S&P and the Dow Jones continue to push up a bit more. Once the Dow Jones gets towards that 30,000 level there, that's where the projected level is. I believe once the Dow Jones gets to its projected level, then we're likely to see a very, very, very sharp pullback. I am not telling you to short the market, because I could be completely wrong and this thing will just completely blast through, just like the S&P 500's done, and keep going up, okay? So do not try and short this market. I would rather you try to buy the dip when it happens than try to pick the top, which is the wrong thing to do. And I don't give a damn who you're listening to on YouTube right now. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. Don't short the market right now, guys. Be patient. Breathe in and breathe out. Be patient. Wait for the good opportunities, okay? That is the number one thing you must do right now. We're getting towards the short-term peak, where we're likely to see a bit of a correction in the market because it's due and it's going to happen. Okay, so do not be freaked out when it does happen, right? But the number one thing you do is you must be patient. And on my webinar that I'm running today, the very first thing in the description, I'm going to walk you through why you must do that, and the number one biggest mistakes you're going to do in this market right now, and the number one strategy you must be focusing on to have the odds on your side. Give yourself, you become the casino, right? Give yourself the best chance of you doing really, really well by understanding these charts and understanding these markets and why you're going wrong and where you're going wrong. And a very simple strategy. Again, in that webinar, I teach you all that. But please do not try and short this market right now. You are doing yourself dissatisfaction. And these idiots out there right now on YouTube right now are trying to still pick the top and still ruining you. It's not the right way to go. Please stop it, right? Please just sit back, breathe, take a breather in. Okay, so cool. This is a long-term thing. I'm in this for the long haul. Trading is all about probability. It's not about guarantees. Trading is all about looking for a really good setup. It's not about getting rich quick. Every time I try to get rich quick, I get poor quick. You know, like, that's the way the stock market is, right? So please, please, please slow down, get ready, because we are getting ready for a pullback in the markets. It's probably a little bit more upside, and that happened. And then there's a lot of opportunities out there right now, guys, okay? And there really, really, really is. And I'm so excited. Once you know what to look for, you can do so well at these markets. But step back, breathe, and go, you know what? There's an amazing trade just around the corner. There's amazing setups just around the corner. And when I say it, I'm going to put a position on that trade. And so even if that position is a losing trade, that it's not hurting me too much. And just like I was speaking to my girlfriend just recently, she has basically her retirement money in a self-managed retirement account. And she's been placing some investments recently. And I've been very proud of her because she's made some money. But I said to her, please don't put all your money into the markets, okay, into these investments. And she goes, I haven't. She said, it's only about a third of my money is in these investments. And I said, well done. I'm so proud of you. I said, because if the worst case scenario happens and you lose all that money, you want to still be protected. And that's what I'm saying to you right now, okay? Doesn't matter what you think is going to happen. The number one thing you continue to do with the stock market and this sort of stuff, and I'm going to get into the gold stocks right now and Tesla, is please, please, please remember, guys, protect yourself, okay? Because it doesn't matter how much you think someone knows, right? Like, look at Ray Dalio. He's bought put options recently, and the markets continue up. Doesn't mean he knows where the top is, okay? Look at that guy from The Big Short who's been shorting the crap out of Tesla. He had to cover himself and he lost millions of dollars. No one knows what's going to happen. The only truly way for you to move forward is have a very simple trading strategy. Trade that every time and know that any single given one trade can be a losing trade, okay? Now, I'm going to teach you exactly where you're going wrong and what you need to do to start to fix it. And the one thing that actually get you across that epiphany bridge of from actually doing really badly in the markets to actually start to move forward. And I'm going to teach you my trading strategy that crushes in the markets. Just follow that. You will do well. Okay? But when I say you do well, that simply means most of the time the trades are going to run on for you for profits. And then some of the time you're going to have losses. But I cannot guarantee up front which one of those trades are going to be a losing trades. Okay? So please, guys, protect yourself. Because right now I know there's a lot of people on the sidelines, especially like seeing this volume here. Look at the Dow Jones, a bit of a volume spike here today. All right. The S&P 500, not much going on there. Let me go to the SPY. All right, we're getting a bit of a volume spike where we are right now. We're getting really close to where the top is. Let me go to the, all right, where's the QQQ? All right, not much of a volume spike there. And the Dow Jones, not much of a volume spike there. But I do see, guys, that we're probably likely to see a pullback, okay? So just be prepared for it. It's likely to happen. The pullback is going to happen. We just know that. Expect it. But please don't try and short the market because you think it's the top, or buy the market. Which is the way you look at this thing is, okay, I'm looking for the highest probability the highest probability trade you can do in these markets, if you want to get in the markets, is wait for the market to have a big pullback, okay? Because if you look at this big bull market, guess what? When was the best time to trade? Wait for a pullback, wait for a pullback, wait for a pullback, right? And then see the rip. That's the best thing you can do in these markets. But that's still just gambling, right? That's gambling to me. So I think I've made that point clear, okay? I'm trying to protect you here so much, guys, because this market is just, especially these idiots on YouTube, still trying to say, whoa. It's like, no one knows. I don't know what's going to happen. That's what I'm saying to you, but I can see what's likely to happen now over the next couple of months. And that is the Dow Jones is probably likely to continue up. And then there's going to come a point in time that we're going to see a pullback. And just like silver and gold, when I said that, just if you guys were watching my videos back in August, September last year, when silver and gold were going berserk, I was saying, wait for a pullback. We're probably likely to see a pullback soon. And the pullback happened. Okay. Now I didn't know when the pullback was going to start, and I didn't know how long the pullback was going to start, right? We can just see what's likely to happen, and then we can play it from there to there. Moving on through the gold stocks, the GDXJ and the GDX, I'm getting really excited about this sort of sideways movement. If we bring up the weekly chart through here, look at this here, right? This is just likely to make some really nice moves. I'm getting really excited about this here once again, and the GDX as well too. We're just doing pretty much nothing through here, but once we actually break this 30 level, guys, my goodness, there's going to be on like Donkey Kong. It's going to be some serious moves, and I'm getting really excited about. So especially this GDXJ through here, I do see where once we start to break this level through here, we're probably likely to see a very nice move up. And I believe that that's probably likely to happen as we're seeing a bit of a correction in the stock market, and as SLV silver as well too. So the SLV price there, I believe once we start to see a break up, we're probably likely to see a move up. I'm so excited about this, guys. All right. So as you can see, trading is never about trying to pick tops and bottoms. Trading for me is just looking for opportunities. There's hundreds and thousands of stocks you can trade at there, guys. Okay. Have a very simple trading strategy, and there's plenty of trades out there for you to do really well. Like, ask any of my private clients right now. You know, this January has been a phenomenal month for trading. But I could never know up front which trade is going to be a successful trade, which one's not. My job is to take the trade, and if it's a losing trade, it's not going to hurt me. And every single trade you take, you must be in a position where if it is a losing trade, the losses are not hurting you and the wins are not exciting you. Because trading is a long-term thing. Trading is never about making a lot of money in one trade. You will make more money taking small fish in the long run than having big fish. Right, so these gold stocks are looking like they're getting ready for a very nice move up, and looking at Tesla as well too, right? And once again, guys, if you're after a trading strategy, get on my webinar today, and you're going to learn my trading strategy. You're going to learn what to do, and you're going to learn why I did exactly what most people do, which caused me to lose $250,000 in debt and go backwards. And now after all that, subscriptions, listen to people, and all that sort of stuff, that actually go into someone who actually did really well. That's when everything changed for me, all right? And I can turn anyone into a successful trader if they're willing to listen and apply the techniques. But it does take time, and it's not guaranteed. The only thing that's guaranteed is whether you are willing to do the work and whether you actually understand the foundational rules of being ahead, right? Because if I teach you a successful trading strategy, I guarantee you're probably likely to turn into a really bad trading strategy. What if I gave you a successful trading strategy, but you're horrible at trade management and you kept getting out of these things for losing trades, but they weren't the right time to get out. You only got out because you're fearful of you're going to have a losing trade, right? So there's so many things here. So with this Tesla here as well too, I see Tesla having a bit of a pullback. Why? The exact same thing as the stock market. Like, look at this move here, right? This is just crazy. I did have a $500 target. I didn't expect it to happen that quickly, but it got to 500, actually got to almost 550. Now I see a bit of a pullback coming in Tesla. So don't try and get into Tesla right now, because we're probably likely to see, a lot more of a pullback. Like, look at this cluster of volume through here, guys. Like, my goodness, this cluster of volume right at the high where we are right now, guys, is telling me we have a very, very high probability of seeing some form of a pullback with Tesla through there. So that's what happens, especially if the market goes for a big run and then there's a cluster of volume. What do you think that volume is? The volume after the market's gone for a big run and then there's a lot more volume. What do you think that is? That's a lot of people buying it, right? There's a lot of people buying it because there's a lot of people that like to buy when the market goes up, and when everyone's saying, okay, now I've got to get into this thing because this thing's going to keep going up, that's when the professionals are selling, and guess what happens? Then the market pulls back. The amateurs get stopped out, then the professionals say, right, we've had a good pullback, time to buy it again now, and away it goes. Make sense? So just like the stock market, and just like I said with silver and gold, Dow Jones, S&P 500, we're probably likely to see a little bit more upside to come, and I do see we're likely to get to that level. But don't be surprised that when we start to see a sharp pullback coming, and guess what? That pullback is likely to happen, and some news is going to come out to cause that. We don't know what, we don't know when, but it's likely to cause that. Be smart around your investing, all right? If you are serious about being a good trader in these markets, you must start to apply the foundational rules of becoming a successful trader. And one of those is having a successful trading strategy, which simply means that most of the trades are going to do well, some of them are not. And when you get into these trades, you get into the trades that actually meet the plan, and you get so good at this that when you do take a trade, there is going to be losing trades, and you never know up front what trade's going to be a successful trade and what trade's going to be a profitable trade. You get into the trade, and if it is a losing trade, you take the loss, but the losses are not hurting you, the wins are not exciting you, and like with my private clients is that we have a very high successfulness ratio, and because we trade options, we can have maybe a 20 to 30% loss on average, but then our wins can be like 100%, 150%. So we set ourselves up like that way. So even if we do have a very low win-loss ratio, like a 50-50, which we don't, you can see how we do well, right? So we have a very high probability trading strategy, 80 to 90% success rate, and then we start to add 2 to 3 times profit compared to our average loss. Now this is not exact. Sometimes we have a 40 or 50% loss, and sometimes we only have a 50 or 60% profit. But you're looking at the average would be between, say, 20 to 30% loss, and the average profit would be, say, between 80 and 100% profit, right? Sometimes, yes, you get 100% profit. Heck, I actually just got a guy recently who said he got out of a trade. It was actually a Goldman Sachs trade that we got into. One of my private clients just recently, Goldman Sachs, and he said he got out just recently for 400% return. So how many 20 or 30% losing trades does he need to now lose, to now be back to break even just from that one trade, right? Even if he has a complete blowout and he has a couple of 100% losses on his options. Do you see what I'm saying there? That's what trading is all about. And that's exactly what I teach my private clients. And that's exactly what I'm going to teach you on my webinar as well too. I'm so excited for that, guys. So today has been a bit of an update in the markets, but today has been a bit of a kick in the butt for you guys, because these idiots out there are teaching you the wrong things. And it's a difficult process to get in the markets, because the hard thing about trading is figuring out exactly what to focus on and then becoming so good at that. Because they say practice makes perfect. That's absolutely bullshit, right? Absolutely crap. No. Because if you keep practicing the wrong thing, you're going to become so good at doing the wrong thing, right? Perfect practice makes perfect. And 80% of the crap that's out there right now on teaching you exactly how to trade these markets is not going to help you become a good trader. It is not going to help you become a good trader. I promise you that. If you want to start to put the odds on your side, there's only about 20% of the stuff that's out there in the markets that's as an education that is going to be actually help you become a good trader. And when you start to focus on that stuff, those techniques, those strategies, those sort of systems, now when you start to practice and practice perfect practice, right? Practicing on the stuff that actually matters in the markets. By understanding the stuff that I'm talking about today, right? Like when the market goes for a run, we're likely to see a pullback and all this foundational stuff about how the markets work. That's when you start to crush it, right? That's when you can start to hit it. Because now you're practicing on the stuff that does matter. And you're not practicing on all this sort of stuff, right? Perfect practice, which means getting so good at identifying and understanding the foundational rules and how these markets work and how to read these charts properly so you can get ahead, and understanding the foundational rules, which simply means that you have a trading strategy, and in that trading strategy, you're going to have a win-loss ratio. And every time you get into a trade, you can never guarantee that this trade's going to be a profitable trade. But if it is a losing trade, you take the loss, it's a small loss, and you go from there. Because I guarantee you right now, guys, whenever I think a trade's not going to work out, it runs on for 100% profit. Whenever I think there's a trade that's absolutely guaranteed to work out, guess what? It's a 40% loss for me. Makes sense? So I always say, guys, never trade based on what you think, hope, or fear, right? Because what you think is going to happen never happens. What you hope's going to happen, we shouldn't be there, hope there. And what you're fearful is going to happen, I'm fearful the stock market's going to crash right now and I should be getting in right now. And the market keeps going up for a week and then you get stopped out. Like, man, right? I have been there. Everything I'm telling you right now, I've had the t-shirt. All my focus was on all this other crap. I was focusing so much time on doing this all the other crap. I was trading 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day looking at the screen. I'm like, this is not helping me. Have a very simple process, have a very simple trading strategy, and I only trade 1 hour per day to make the best decisions. Then I'm off. I don't want to spend all my time on the computer. And again, in my webinar today, I show you how that works. Can you see what I'm saying here, guys? Please protect yourself. This is what's likely to happen moving forward, and so protect yourself. But this is what's likely to happen. So even if you place a trade, which I know some of you guys are going to do this, not based on probability, just based on this guy that says something on YouTube, right? I just be prepared that what I'm saying right now is likely to happen. But even if it doesn't happen, you need to be in a position that when you do place a trade, you need to ask yourself, am I protecting myself right now? Because if this is a losing trade right now, am I still okay? Am I still doing well? Am I protecting my account? Because I guarantee you one thing, the number one thing to your trading is protecting your funds. If you're placing so much money to try to make a lot of money really, really quickly, and you blow it up and like, oh my goodness, I've been there so many times. I'd go to work and I'd save my money and I'd put it into a trading account and I'd blow that up. And then I'd go back to work and I'd save more money and then I'd put it in a trading account and I'd blow it up. Be prepared what's likely to happen. We're likely to see a bit of a pullback soon in the stock market. We're likely to see a rise in silver and gold again. But we'd never know when that's going to start, right? It could be another few weeks out before we start to see that. But that's on its way. A major pullback is on its way. Be prepared.